Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Clutch Crypto, your host. B. Wellington's on the other side, and
What's
man,
going on, babies?
the market got hit yesterday, just like we called it, just like Dave Chappelle did last night. Holy
Look at this thing.
man,
This
that's
is this is
crazy.
crazy, man. The guy comes. Apparently, he had a knife and a gun, but I guess he didn't pull him out. And
Some people's kids.
well, I think what's his name? Uh,
Will Smith? You think that
no,
was Will Smith?
Jamie Foxx hopped on stage to help Chappelle out. No, Will Smith was not. Is that? I kind of look like Will Smith. He's like, he's like, I'm gonna do it right this time.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to
All
the
right, let's get
market.
to the chart, see what's going on. We called it yesterday. We did have that drop, but did do a little rebound last night. So let's see where we're at.
Well, I mean, if we
And
really want to be honest about it, I mean,
we're right
today,
back where we're at, where we were at
yeah,
yesterday,
right
almost
in
to
that
the T.
range. Yeah, right in that range. I mean, look, it's May 4th. Market's about to open. We've got employment report that's out, which does not look good. Look at this thing, ADP employment report. So 247 versus 390, and it's been kind of. This is sector. Oh wait, I gotta subscribe. I'm not subscribing for that bullshit. But doesn't look great as far as the ADP employment report is concerned. International trade balance has increased. Look at that. That was last year. This is what was expected, and this is what we came up with. So we're continuing to
Go into a deficit.
increase as far as go into a deficit. But for every deficit that we create, there's a surplus on the other end, and right now that surplus is going to China. So a lot of this, kind of this back and forth with Ukraine and everything else. But just wanted to quickly get to the timing. This is 2 p.m. 2:30 is the FOMC meeting, so I figure that we'll get a lot of volatility. Not a lot of volatility,
This
but we'll
is
get
East
some
Coast
moves
time, right?
before I believe.
Yeah.
No, this is the time in which I'm on, which is going to be central, because we've already come out with these numbers. It's 8:15, so this is central time.
Okay.
So 2 o'clock, we should see some things. So we'll see some surprises, but these numbers right here don't look great. The market hasn't reacted to them, but the market has just opened. So we'll hop back into actually the chart, but I wanted to kind of give some context before getting into all of these. So, we're still kind of on this trend line. There's, like we had mentioned before, there's a lot of activity on this trend line. And so we've had this green candle, this volume changing candle, and then another green candle, even though this daily still has, 10 hours and 30 minutes left in order to close. Anything can happen within that candle. But if we do go to the hourly, and I did put another channel in here to see how this would kind of see the mini trend that we were on. And so we bounced within this channel, came back up to this 200 on the 1 hourly, broke out of the channel, which means we broke down off of the 50. And so working to get back up in there into that channel, you can see these are, kind of vector candles, which would indicate, some fast moves to the upside. So, in talking to, our, learning from folks like Tino over at Traders Reality, we see that, when these fast moves happen, such as these, that these generally tend to be fake moves and traps. And so, but we did break out from the 200 somewhat, we're coming back into it. And so conceivably, two things can happen, right? It can go up or it can go down, obviously. But if we hold on this 200, it's more likely that we're going to move up from this area. If we do tend to break down into it, which again, I would believe that we are, since we did get all the way up here to 28.92, this line represents the last peak that we were on. So we kind of came up into this peak. And then we came down. We didn't come down aggressively, though, which is normally what happens when you see that trappy behavior. So we came up, we're pulling back down. So we got up to, like I mentioned, at 28.92, back down to this 28.56. So depending on how we're kind of at a nice area now to where we can either move from that 200 and move to the upside, or come back down. We do have the daily open that's down here. We did reach the M4 level this morning, which would indicate we would come back into the M2, and the M2 is at the daily open. So that does add a little bit of confluence. There we've got this momentum wave that's peaked. RSI is up there as well, and so generally what we see is we see kind of these three hits to the high. So we've had, in the hourly, this 1, 2, 3 hits to the high, and so we should have some pullback. So I would anticipate that we get back to this daily open. And even if we got back to the daily open, I would anticipate that we crash down and get yesterday's low. Not crash, but get down there. But we are, within this range. I've marked this line here at 27.09. That's kind of the last low that we have. And then, I'm marking off most of the peaks. This is not really going to be here, but we have this peak here at 28.90 or 29.80. So, conceivably we could get back up into these areas. That would put us in line with the 800 on the 1 hour, which is pretty consistent with, kind of where these things start to turn around. But we'll see. I mean, we've got a big day today, so there's a lot of news that's going to be out there. But around 2 o'clock Central Time looks like, but really 2:30, I believe, is when the Fed comments are going to come back out relative to announcing where we're at. If you believe in
Where did you go? Where did you go? Ladies and gentlemen, we may have lost him. Hold on. Just give it a minute. I'm sure he'll show back up. Maybe. Wow. Anyway, let's move forward here while we still got everything going. As you can see here, share my screen. We have High Block Capital here going on today. Let's see what we can find out. All right, so let's do a little refresh real quick. And as you can see right here, we fill the top of the range. Look, guys, we are right up here where we talked about yesterday. We did take out that nice long liquidation that they did have up there, which I did say they were going to grab. Big deal is right here is 28.78. We came right up into this area. Doesn't look like we broke that area. We do have some ranging in here to fill in this void, as you can see. So we need to be very cautious. We had a lot of longs pick up here. We do have a lot of long liquidation. Deltas show back up. We were up to 2.1 billion. Hey, be cautious, guys. We've seen this get up to about 6 billion, so do pay close attention. I want to see, the range that we're working in right now. We're kind of in the top of the range. Down here on the bottom side, we want to pay attention down into this area, 2780 or 2768. Excuse me. We do have some long liquidations to pick up here. There's big news coming out with the interest rate and the Fed a little later today. We've seen it go both ways on the price hikes. We saw the first one really pump the market. We saw the second one really dumped in the market. So kind of anyone's guess. So pay attention today, guys. What's going on? Kind of give you those ranges. Where we're at on book map right now, as you can see, we're pretty much about even. We're kind of cruising right here at this 2860 area. We do have quite a few orders up here to 2900, but we got more stacks down to the bottom. We do have positive CVD that has flipped and it's coming up. We are moving. We do have a nice little buying volume candle that cleared out some shorts. Sometimes this may be an indication that we're going to be seeing some reversals soon. This is a sometimes deal, so be cautious with that. So I would pay close attention down into the mid 2700s like we spoke about, as well. Pay close attention to see if we break out of this gap right up here around the 2880, which we talked about as well, to see if we break out of that range. So that's all I got for today, guys. I do apologize that my co-host appears to be having some internet connections issues. So that's all we have for today. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow morning, 8:30 Central Standard Time, just in time for the market open.